Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So we're halfway through May now, and I'm just going to run you through quickly today what seeds I'm going to be sowing in May. So not too many vegetables, unfortunately. Mostly fruit like tomatoes, cucumbers, pumpkins, some other bits and bobs, sweet corn, probably a few more things. Then at the end of the video I'll probably give you a quick tour of the veg garden. As you can see, I've been out and trimmed all the grass down, done a load of weeding, and there's lots of other stuff. Everything's really starting to grow really fast now. The weather's warmed up. We had our last frost a couple of weeks back now. We're in mid Wales here, so we get some late frosts sometimes, so I'm in no rush to start sowing seeds really. But I've got a load sown today. I did about 10 different types. So I'll just run you through quickly, show you how I do it and stuff. I won't go into too much detail and bore you with the whole process. And at the end, like I said, I'll give you a quick tour of the veg garden. So I'll go back to you in a sec and we'll make a start. Okay, so making a start sowing the seeds. So like I said a minute ago, I've got 2 types of tomato and I'm going to do them on the same seed tray, so half and half, and I've just filled up my compost most of the way, and then I'm going to space the seeds out on top and lightly cover them with about half a centimetre to a centimetre of compost. So I don't see the point in showing you the whole thing. It's pretty straightforward, so I'll get it done. Okay, so that's the beefsteak tomato seeds, and I've just spaced them out about 1 inch apart. So I've got 15 in there, and I'll leave a gap down the middle and then do the same with the other tomatoes. So this is the tomato seeds, the beefsteak ones. Sometimes if you're not careful you can get 2 stuck together, so make sure they're single seeds you're planting. Not that it really matters, but you might be surprised when 2 come up in the same place. Space them out nicely, and then it's easier to separate them, to prick them out when the time comes. They won't be in here for too long, a couple of weeks I would have thought. Then we'll be taking them out and potting them up. So I'll get the rest done and I'll get back to you before I do the cucumbers and that, just to show you the seeds and that, because they're a bit different. Okay, so I've vacated the veg garden because it's just too hot in there. It's a bit of a sun trap. So we're out in another part of the garden today. It's a beautiful day. And I'm out here sowing seeds. Nice bit of shade from these trees. So far I have sown 2 types of tomato. The beefsteak and the Ildi, which is the little tiny yellow ones, which grow in massive bunches, and there's like 100 in each bunch or something. They grow a bit like grapes. And I've also sown some saved sweet corn seeds. So this is an experiment because I saved the seeds last year, dried out the cob, and I've just sprinkled quite a few in there. Hopefully some of them will come up, and then I'll prick them out into individual pots later on, or take them straight out and plant them directly. So I've just been and dug out all my little seed trays. The only problem with writing on them with bayonet marker is I have to scribble it out, but the plant labels I tend to find, no matter what I do, the writing comes off. So I've got my seeds here, and just the same process that I've been using. Just filling the pot up most of the way, the seed tray, most of the way up. Put the seeds on the surface, evenly spaced out, and then half a centimetre. You want about that much for most seeds is fine. The bigger the seed, the deeper you need to bury them, but I tend to find as long as they're not buried too deep, they should be fine. and you can cover them over, but I'm not going to. So I'm just going to make sure they're well watered and that they stay damp, especially until after they've germinated. So I'll crack on and pick some more seeds and crack on sowing some, and when I've come across something that I think you might want to see, I'll get back to you. Okay, so cucumbers next. So I got Market More and Delicate B, mid-length cucumbers for salads and pickles, and obviously the Market More just standard cucumbers. So this is the seeds for the cucumbers, quite big, and this is how I'm sowing them. So I'm doing 8 in there, and with the bigger seeds, apparently it's best to put them on their side. It stops them from rotting. Not that I've had a problem with seeds rotting, and normally I'd just put them flat, but apparently it helps, so that's what I'm doing. So I'm just going to do 8 on each half of this seed tray, and then cover them over with some compost. Okay, and last but not least, as usual, is to give them a good old water. So I find these pump spray bottles really handy for this. You can get nice fine mist, and you don't end up disturbing the seeds. So you want to give them a good old drink. Make sure the soil's fully saturated, and keep it nice and damp until they've germinated. And then after they've germinated, you can cut back on the water in a bit, so you don't cause any damping off or rotting. Right, next we're on to sunflowers. I've got 2 different varieties here. I've got the giant singles, and I've got the German variety from Lidl's or Aldi. I can't pronounce that, but I've translated it using Google. It is Autumn Beauty, and it's a mixed type, so they can be anything from light yellow to orange to dark red. So you can see the colours on the packets there. So the seeds all look different, so I'm going to try and plant a mixture of different types of seeds. So I'm going to do 8 on each side again, and with these I've just poked some holes in. I've filled this with compost, gently firmed it down, and I've just poked some holes in, and I'm just going to drop the seeds in and cover them over and give them a good water. So that's the sunflower seeds there. Okay, so next is the squashes. So I've got 2 varieties of squash. I've got summer squash and butternut squash. This is the seeds for the squash. They're very similar to pumpkin seeds, because pumpkins are a type of squash. And I'm doing it the same way again. And I'm not really bothered how the seeds go in the hole. I've found that it hasn't really mattered, but apparently, see that one there, they should all be like that, but I've never had a problem, so I'm just popping them in, and then I'll cover them over, put another little bit of compost on top, and give them a good water. Okay, and last but not least, I'm going to sow some watermelons. So these are Sugar Baby watermelons, which is a nice little variety. That's the seeds from them. And I'm going to sow a different type of corn, which I've got given these seeds. So these are golden bantam corn. So the seeds look quite unusual for corn. Now, I've written sweet corn on there, but I've just realised it doesn't actually say sweet corn, it just says golden bantam corn. So I don't know. I don't know if they're actually sweet corn or not, but so I'm just going to do 2 separate halves of this. 8 seeds in there again, and get them planted. Obviously they won't be in here long, so ideally when you're buying corn you should plant them straight into slightly bigger pots so that the roots can get down quite deep. But I just want to germinate them in here basically, and then I'll prick them out into their individual pots. Just saves a bit of space while I'm getting all the seeds going, and then I can decide what I actually want to plant in the veg garden. Okay, so I think I'm done sowing seeds for today. So I've got quite a few sown. Quickly run through the ones that we've sown. So we've got sweet corn, golden bantam, watermelon, sugar baby, squash, summer, and squash butternut, cucumber, delicate bee, and market more cucumber, sunflower giant single, and autumn beauty. I planted the wrong way round, so I put little arrows there. Beefsteak tomatoes and Ildi tomatoes. And this was my sweet corn seeds in here. And I've got a load more seeds which the kids and stuff have been saving. I think there's pumpkins and melons and some other things in here. So, because I'm not sure if they're any good, I'm just going to sprinkle them in somewhere in the veg garden and see what comes up. So we'll head back over to the veg garden. I'll put these in the greenhouse. Okay, so they're in the greenhouse now. Jasper, what are you doing? Stop rolling around on the vegetables. Such a dopey cat. Anyway, so they're all in here. It's very hot in here now. I can't really stay in here too long. I'll give you a quick update of what we've got in there anyway. These are the marigolds that we pricked out recently on if you go back a video or two. See how much they've grown. They've grown loads. So that's all them. And what else have we got? Tomatoes that we pricked out as well. Doing well. There's a loop in there. 3 more little tomato plants which germinated outside in the ground. So that's a good sign to me that it's time to start planting. When I see the tomatoes outside start germinating from where the seeds have fell from last year, and sunflowers as well, these sprouted up outside. So I potted up all the ones that I could find. So I found 3 sunflowers and 3 tomatoes. That's a good sign that we're ready to go. I've got a little cherry tree in here as well. Needs to go outside really. Getting a bit hot in here for it. And just some other bits and bobs, some cuttings from the willows. This is flamingo willow. This is a type of weeping willow. I'll see you, snail, trying to eat my vegetables. I think that's a fuchsia bush. There was a little stump which I've salvaged. It's growing well. And some little birch trees back there. Mighty fine specimen of a stinging nettle there. And the Japanese maples. Got a video of them coming soon. Peas which still need to go out somewhere. If I leave them in here much longer they're going to be no good. More Japanese maple seedlings. And some birch trees, silver and red birch. Again, they really need to go outside somewhere. It's going to be getting too hot in here now for them. That's basically all that's actually in the greenhouse at the moment. So I'm a little bit behind, but there's no harm in leaving it. These are all casualties of this year. We had a really harsh winter, so a few trees have died, but most things have survived and are looking really good. Everything's looking really healthy. So I'm not going to update you on the entire veg garden, but just give you a little quick look. I've emptied out all the compost and that's ready to be refilled with the chicken manure. Got a load of strawberry plants there and some mint plants which I need to I've been trying to sell these for 50p each. I've sold a few, but if not they'll be given away or planted somewhere random. All the trees in there. That chestnut there is looking really good. Strawberries and stuff in here. I've been in here yesterday and trimmed the grass, or day before yesterday. All the onions and stuff looking good. This is just full of weeds. But like I said a minute ago, I like to leave. I'm not too keen on just keeping it bare. Because things do pop up, like the sunflowers and tomatoes. This is all the compost which I've harvested from my compost bin. And all these potato plants which were popping up all in here. There's probably still some more somewhere. But I've potted them all up, so I don't actually need to plant any seed potatoes this year now. So I've got 20 different types of potatoes in there, which have just sprung up, which I've just put them in little pots for now, until I actually decide where to plant them. Everything else is looking good. All onions and garlic and stuff in there. All fruit trees at the back here. All looking nice and healthy. All starting to grow like mad now. That's how much growth we've had so far. Grapevines are just starting to come out. Cherry trees got flowers starting to turn into fruit. Actually got a fair few this year. The kiwi vines coming out now. The raspberry bush. Lots of little flowers waiting to open on there. Each one of them will be a raspberry. The currant bushes are doing really well this year. Absolutely loaded with fruit. And the gooseberry's got a fair few on it. And you have a currant bush there. And all my Japanese maples and little bonsai experiments are here. That's the oak one from a couple of videos back. That's grown. We've had about 6 inches growth so far this year. And it's only just come out really, the past couple of weeks. All this is new growth. And there's the 5-tree clump birch bonsai. More Japanese maples. I did notice one of them had died. That one's died, and I think this one here has died as well. I don't know why. Happens sometimes. Anyway, so absolutely beautiful day. Alright everyone, so thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Hope you found some of the information useful. So we sowed, what did we sow today? 11 different types of seeds. And I've been busy out here, like I said. Done a lot of trimming and stuff. And I've just picked up today a couple of pumpkin plants. The variety of these is Halloween. So they should be quite interesting. I couldn't really list them because they're only £1 odd each. Normally I would sow pumpkins and stuff like that from seed because they're so easy to get going from seed, but like I said, I just saw them. We went to the King's nursery, picked up some more compost. I've got some professional Sinclair professional compost. This is the stuff they use, so it should be pretty good. I've had good results so far. All my marigolds are planted in that, and my tomatoes. As you can see, they're all doing really well. I think I just showed you them a minute ago. This is actually the next day now, so I can't quite remember what I showed you yesterday. Anyway, so like I said, done a lot of strimming, a lot of weeding, repotting some bits and bobs, trees and stuff, just generally pottering around the veg garden over the weekend, as you do. Anyway, so I'm hoping you can see me. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great week. See you later.